There tends to be two camps as to which is the best or most favorite Austen work. And so I guess I'm going to pledge allegiance to one camp or another, I suppose, by my choice. Hey everybody, welcome back to It's Too Late to Apologize Book Reviews. I'm Stella, and today we're going to be talking about my Jane Austen ranking order. So just recently, I finally finished reading all of Jane Austen's completed works, and I said I was going to do a ranking of which of her books I liked best, from best to worst, or not worst, but best to most liked to less liked. There you go. And this could be quite a polarizing topic. I know there tends to be two camps as to which is the best or most favorite Austen work. And so I guess I'm going to pledge allegiance to one camp or another, I suppose, by my choice. Now, I will say that I had read 3 of her works, which was Pride and Prejudice, Northanger Abbey, and Sense and Sensibility, quite a few years ago. And then only recently, this year, did I read Persuasion, Emma, and Mansfield Park. So those are all really fresh in my memory. So perhaps later on, somewhere down the road, I'll reread those 3 that I read really early on and see if my opinions or feelings have changed about it, because definitely my reading taste has changed dramatically since the last time I've read those first 3 books of hers and then the 3 that I read this year. So something could change, who knows? But let's get into it. Jane Austen's 6 novels. Let's start with number 6. So coming in at number 6 for me is going to be Sense and Sensibility. The reason this comes in as number 6 is I liked it. I mean, it's a very character-driven novel, so it tends to go slowly. And I mean, I tend to, today, I really like slow-moving, character-driven stories. I found at the time that I read this, there were just moments that it was so slow that it just felt like you were dragging your feet through reading the novel. I really liked the characters in the novel. I thought like the character exploration that Jane Austen does in her novels is so well done. And it was well done in this novel as well. Just came in at number 6. Coming in at number 5 is going to be Persuasion for me. This one was a tough one. I did really like this one, but I just felt it felt quite simple a story for her. For Austen. I liked the characters. I thought that Anne's father and family are just ridiculous, and I loved that. And it was hilarious how ridiculous they were and how vain they were. And I liked that this was an older heroine, and so she was more mature than most of Jane Austen's characters tend to be. Was she 28 or 20, around 28 or so in this novel? And I mean, I still really liked it, but it's definitely coming in at number 5. Next 2 novels, spot 4 and 3 can kind of be interchangeable with each other. And so I'm going to go with number 4, Emma. This one was the most recent that I just finished reading. I thought it was really interesting. I enjoyed it. I absolutely hate Emma. Well, absolutely hate is a strong way to put it. I just think she's a horrible person by the end of it. I couldn't stand how Jane treated her friend Harriet. They weren't even friends. She was just like she treated her almost like a dog, just sort of like a companion that she would keep her company, but that people love their dogs better than Jane treated Harriet in this novel. Like it's a horrible comparison to make. But just how at the end just completely forgets this woman who had kept her company in her loneliness and didn't really care about her at all at the end of it is what makes me really dislike Emma. I mean, mindful that this is coming in at book 4, like, number 4 for me, possibly number 3. I still really enjoyed it. I liked all the relationship drama that happened in this novel, which was really good. Then number 3 or 4, like I said, Northanger Abbey. I remember really enjoying reading this one. And it was just really interesting and felt really young and fresh. And I think it was one of her earliest, Jane Austen's earliest novels. I feel like you could really feel that. It was a lot more lighthearted. It was, all of her novels are quite lighthearted, in general, but this one felt just a little more so. I really liked Northanger Abbey, more of like a gothic novel for her, which is definitely different in tone from her other novels. Number 2 is going to be Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice is actually one of my favorite movies. I love the movie. It was almost, I watched and loved the movie so many times that it actually almost became a barrier to reading the novel for me. And as I was reading it, all I could think of was comparing it constantly to the movie as I was reading it, which dampened some of the enjoyment that I could have gotten out of the book. But then also at the same time, I feel like it really could enhanced it at the same time because I really understood this whole entire plot and all the characters. Like I knew all these characters so well before going in and reading it. I really liked Pride and Prejudice number 2, which leaves the number 1 position being Mansfield Park. And I did a review of this novel, and in it I really went into why I enjoyed this novel so much. And it was really, I felt this novel really stood apart, other than Northanger Abbey, which was quite a different novel comparatively to all of her other work. I really felt that this also really stood out from all the other Jane Austen novels, because I felt like there was just more going on than just the characters. And not that that's like a bad thing, that the book is solely just about the characters. I love character driven plot. I love that. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but what really made me love Mansfield Park and put it in the number 1 position was it just felt like it was subtly saying a whole lot more than what was happening with just the characters. Like you could extrapolate so much more hidden depth from just what was happening to the characters into other aspects of life or morality or any of those kinds of things. So I think that's what I really enjoyed about Mansfield Park. And that might be an unpopular opinion, but it's the one I got. So have you read Jane Austen's works? What are your thoughts? What's your ranking? Let me know in the comments down below. I have yet to read her unfinished works. I do have this Penguin Classics, Lady Susan, The Watson, and Sandition. And so I haven't read these yet. I really want to, and so I'm looking forward to that. But then also, you might have seen it back on my shelf there, I have the also Pride and Prejudice in the Penguin Drop Caps edition. Really beautiful. And for anyone who doesn't know, the peacock feathers are a nod to the first edition printing of Pride and Prejudice. There was a peacock on the front of the cover. So this edition's really beautiful. Print size is actually really good. A really interesting sort of matte finish to the cover. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's got the sprayed edges, and then it has one of the famous quotes on the back, which is, "How much sooner one tires of anything than a book." I mean, I couldn't agree more. Have you read all of Jane Austen's works? Are you planning to? Let me know in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe so that more people can discover some great books. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.